Hey son, I'm going to go over a few more details on certain things that you have to do when you start reloading. Some of the tools that I use. I use Lee Classic press. It's a really strong press, stronger than it needs to be. Mr. Richard Lee says that it's not as strong as some of the other presses, but it's at least 3 times stronger than it needs to be. This is good quality equipment right here. It will reload as good as anything else will at less money. So that's one of the reasons I use Lee. Good quality, and I'm cheap too. So I'm going to show you some of the things that we use. This is a progressive press. It comes with, I have several of the turrets, and most all my dies are already preset in there. I have additional turrets that are an additional turret that's blank, that all my other dies that are not set in it will fit. It will just screw tight onto it. This is the top section. It has the resizing die, the seating die, and then the crimp die. This is for the 556 NATO cartridge. It actually squeezes the neck in to hold the bullet in, so it's really consistent right there. This little device here, it fits into the turret in this little groove here. This right here automatically indexes the cartridge. Each time you go down, it rotates the head. So, and all you do to put the head on the turret is you just line it up in the grooves and get it to where it fits into the indexer and lock it into place, and you'll see how it will index the turret to position to each station it needs to be in. Now, I'm not going to be using it right now, so I'm going to go ahead and take it off. All I'm going to be doing right now is I've already resized this brass. It's already been resized and it has been cleaned. All I'm going to do is prime these cases I have. I have them over in my tumbler over here that they are clean. So all I'm going to show you here is how to set up this system here to cap them. Now, the press assembly comes with 2 of the priming tools. This right here is the small version. It's for small pistol and small rifle, and I have another version in this bucket right here, my Folgers bucket right here, that is for large pistol and large rifle. So all you do to set this in here, before you put your shell holder in, you set it down into there and it just falls into place. Then you could take your shell holder and slide into that groove right there, and that's all the tools. We don't even need this up here. I can take this off to do what I'm going to do right now. All I'm going to do is prime these cases I've already cleaned. I showed you in the previous video how I resized them using this die right here, using Lee resizing lubricant to release it. I cleaned the primer pockets, and I also I used the zip trim gauge. I'm at this zip trim right here. Basically what you do, you set it into that shell holder, and you take the cutter. It's a separate cutter right here, and it has a guide that you can screw onto it, and it will properly cut the cases to length. And so, and once that's done, you take this chamfer tool and you stick over the end of the case and you spin it 1 time to trim the outside burrs off of it, and then you just basically take it back off. So now we're going to go back over here and look at the priming process. And so Basically, I put the primers in a little tray right here because these things have a tendency to jump off, and now they done got very expensive, about 3 cents a piece now. All you do is put the primer in there, that part right there facing upward, not the flat part. The flat part goes into it right there. All right, then you take your case, you raise the ram up a little bit to slide the case into the shell holder, and you basically, all you do is push it down until it stops, and then you can raise it back up, and you see you have a prime case. The reason I do this separately right here, I try to make my rifle cartridges a lot more accurate than my handgun cartridges. So I'm going to individually weigh each powder charge for these. Inside, I have a Lyman 1200 powder scale, automatic dispensing powder scale. And so I will come back out here with all these in a reloading block, and then I will come back out here, and then I will take the case that's fully charged with powder, place a bullet on it. I will run it up into there and seat the bullet, and it'll come back down with that with this tool set into the press. It will automatically index the shell holder up here, this turret, to the next place is where I'm going to run it back up in again. And what this is a neck sizing die. What it does, it squeezes the case around the bullet and holds it into place, and it makes each cartridge uniform and thus slightly more accurate, because it creates the same amount of pressure to push that bullet out off the case each time when you have the same pressure on each bullet right there. So that's all it is to this right here. I'll do one more case. You take your primer, flat side down, put it into the shell holder priming tool, raise it up, just to raise your shell holder up a little bit. Take the empty case, slide it in the shell holder, and push the round back down, and you'll feel it go into place. And then you pull it back up, and you can pull it, make sure that it's seated in there correctly. And that's all that is to it right there. We'll get to the next step in the next video. See you a little bit later, son.